So what I'd like to do now is texture this bird, and I'm going to do that by kind of adding a material to it, and then um, using the 3D paint tool and using some of the sculpt tools give some texture to this model. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's turn off symmetry at this point and turn off snap to grid, and let's go to the UVs. Now the UV editor and it lays out the UV editor is the way that we apply textures to a 3D model. And what you'll see here is that you'll see the faces, and without any UVs set, it looks kind of like garbage like this. But within this one-to-one box here for the UV editor, we want to place all of those faces out onto this grid. This is basically unwrapping the model into a 2D form. So I'm going to say automatic mapping. Now you can see that we have all of the different faces of this model are laid out within that grid. And this makes painting and texturing this model a lot easier. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Next, what I'm going to do is in object mode, and I can tell that I still have soft selection turned on. So let me turn that off here. I'm also going to name this Finch. This is a finch. It's a house finch. So I'm going to name it Finch. And I'm going to say this is Finch low poly. Now I'm going to duplicate this model. And I'm going to bring this down here. And I'm going to name this Finch. And I'm just dragging. And this is going to be my high poly model. So when duplicating this model, let's move this out of the way so I can see my high resolution and my low resolution. Now this doesn't have any added resolution to it, but I'm going to go ahead and add some more. So I'm going to go to my modeling toolkit here, and I'm just going to add divisions, or I'm going to smooth this model. I'm going to add divisions to it. I'm going to add a number of divisions. And what this allows me to do is be able to sculpt this model. So these models are the same, except this one has a higher resolution to it. So I'm able to sculpt. Now I might want to bring back in actually those image planes. So I'm going to create an image plane. Maybe just one is fine. Let me kind of place it. Make sure I'm not rotating it in a random way. Let's rotate it in the Y 90 degrees. And let's add one of those images. Perhaps this one gives me the best resolution of some of the features here. So and this might want to actually rotate it -90 there. So I kind of have that here now to reference. So if I want to sculpt this model, I go to my sculpting tools here, and let's also look at the UVs, right? So the UVs have been maintained. That's really important between our low poly model and our high poly model. Because I added the UVs before I duplicated it, they're laid out in the same position. That'll be really helpful for what we're going to do later.